It's hard to remain on dry land.
Greetings, Traveler and Paimon.
Are you okay, Ganyu? You were nodding off.
I'm fine. Don't worry about me. Since last time, I've been thinking a lot about this. In essence, someone rescued a drowning man and performed some music, but the tune was allegedly so wonderful that the drowning man, for perhaps there was an adeptal power at work in that music that he, as a mortal, could not perceive. Either way, if this part of the story is true...
You really think so? But this story is all the way... Also, Paimon's really curious about how people from Fontaine think this fairy lady look... Ooh, like a crystal fly's wings? That would be pretty cool. But, Paimon, actually, Ganyu, if you had to save a drowning person, how would you go about it?
Huh? Me? Well, I'd get them once I was sure that they were going to be okay.
Got it. So basically, Ganyu's the type of person...
No, it's not like that. I'm just not very good.
Well, what if this adeptus in the story had a similar attitude? She was probably thinking something like... One was merely passing by and saw fit to address this egregious disruption.
That was, as far as I'm aware, Cloud Retainer isn't the most music... if we set off now, we could you'll be able to confirm either way if it's her, and I've been in Lea Harbor for so long now that I'm just not as familiar with the...
Sounds great! And we're pretty close with Cloud Retainer by now, so we probably don't even need to bring her food this time, right?
I've prepared a gift for her to mark the festival. Just in... Cloud Retainer spends most of her days studying mechanisms in her abode. Never mind. I promised I'd help Mr. Dvorak, and Traveler, Paimon...
Seems like this is a tough decision. Paimon gets why she'd be so anxious. Okay, how about this? If Cloud Retainer... Wait, did she leave him? Paimon's so tired from trying to keep up. Don't either of you need to...
I can't...
Huh? Did we...
She doesn't like to travel. So in the past, it's always been the other Adepti who come to visit. True. Now that I think about it, since she's not here, I guess the next step is to...
Uh-oh. Will it involve... Got it!
Please go on.
Our goal here is to find the Adeptus that helped... We can't hear any music right now, but if she's really as nice...
Yes, I think that...
So, all we have to do is get the Traveler to pretend to fall into the water. You know perfectly well that Paimon can't swim. Paimon would sink like a... Just trust Paimon! The water's pretty deep over there. Steady now. It's the final... Whew, that was a tough fight. Help! Help! Someone's drowning! If only there was a kind-hearted
What is going on?
How do you feel right now?
Shenhe!
Why don't you say something? Okay, fine. Paimon, we're looking for an Adeptus who's good at being alive, but if the Adepti aren't gonna stay home, then how?
It wasn't me.
Yeah, so this Adeptus is
And I am not an Adeptus, as you both already know.
Okay, no way Paimon would have suggested this idea if she'd known how awkward this was gonna...
Glad you're okay. As far as I know, the one you seek is no— Your actions here caused others a great deal of worry.
As ever, the conqueror of demons comes and goes.
Right. How's your training going, Shenhe? Have you made any plans?
I had planned to spend the festival
Oh, speaking of Cloud Retainer,
earlier this morning. She set off. I noticed she was using an Adeptus art of some kind to protect a mechanism that looked...
please excuse me for a moment. I think I'll leave the...
Sure.
It sounds like Ganyu and Shenhe have...
Yes. During the summer and winter, I continued to train. Ganyu arranged accommodations for me in the city, but when I try to blend in by referring to her as Miss Ganyu or sometimes I'm supposed to copy other people. Sometimes... Oh. So, you came looking for Master today.
Yep. Oh, speaking of that, have you ever...
Music?
It's...
Okay, I'm done. I also left her a note so that she knows where to find us.
Yay! That's...
We were just talking about this thing called music, and based on Paimon's...
Oh, real...
This is the place. I enjoy training here to the sound of music.
Oh no! Paimon's gone deaf! Paimon can't hear it!
The faint sound of birdsong, the quiet murmur of the stream.
Oh! Okay, fine. It's all Paimon's fault.
And a melody is...
Hey! Don't you patronize Paimon! Let's get one thing straight. Hey! Why don't you just sing that one melody Shen has heard before?
Oh, was that from the opera that Yoonji...
That was a melody, and
It felt like I was transported back to the past. We're all there, raising our glass. As I watched Yoonjin's performance, I felt a warm sensation when you hummed that melody just now. Feelings from a...
Wow, Shenhe. That music definitely has the power to bring up memories. It's like... what about you, Ganyu? Are there any melodies?
I don't remember if my parents ever... I know some local folk songs. The songs of the sailors down at the docks. The little ditties that the vendors call out in front of their beloved shops? Yes, that's right. In the past, whenever I heard the sound of the... Nenny and Leo probably view me as a non-human. And they are right, in the sense that I never could connect with... At least, that's the view I held in the past. Only more recently did I start to... The way those melodies make me feel isn't all that different from other people after all. They're about mundane details, even though we come from different backgrounds and have different stories to tell. In that sense...
You go, Ganyu! You're really making progress. You have loads of friends in Liyue Harbor when you think about it. Like...
Yes, I am. Technically speaking, we should refer to each other by the conventional forms of address used among fellow...
Thank you.
Once the days are warmer, I would like to host you at my home, and I've planted many types of flowers.
You are too
Nonsense. I have cultivated and cared for the flowers just as you taught me. I will save some for decoration. We can feast on the rest.
Then, thank you in advance.
Do people say that?
It doesn't matter, okay? You got the point across. No need to split hairs. Paimon's more concerned about your idea of a girls' night out. Eating...
Who dares refer to one not by one's Adeptus title?
Master.
Our greetings, Cloud Retainer.
Ah! There it is!
Double humph. Now she has the gall to use it rather than she. Even after being chastised once already? One has received your message from Ganyu. On the matter of the Adeptus you seek, one says, well, shall one lead the way?
I still have to complete my training for today, so I will bid farewell to everyone here.
Very well. Await my arrival at one's abode later this night. On this special occasion, you should indulge yourself with some savory dishes.
If you want to release a Shao Lantern, come and find us anytime.
Thank you, everyone.
Is this? Cloud Retainer, why did you bring us here?
Ganyu is of course familiar with the name Guizhong. But Guizhong is another name of Agentis, the god of dust. Long ago, this region was yet a prosperous assembly. Guizhong often invited. Sea Gazer would always bring out his latest treasure and place it upon the table. He could be quite...
Paimon remembers that name. So
He was an old friend and a former rival. Once he had brought out the treasure, it would predictably become the center of attention. Neither Guizhong nor one was As Adepti, we were each gifted in our own ways, and naturally, his treasures were not even of his own making. He just used his exploration skills to dig them out of the ground. How, pray tell, could he
Cloud Retainer, you are getting competitive again.
One digresses. Regardless, every time an argument occurred,
what kind of nonsense?
no kind of nonsense were we spared. Sometimes she would brazenly opine, why argue? She always sought to make everyone happy. And one must say, she had quite the gift. It also helped that she never referred to one as... Anyway, just as our impassioned arguments would reach the end, who would dare snub the stove god and his wondrous creations? At the sight of... Back then, one was always bothered by how the cups Rex Lapis brought were always too square for one's taste. Precisely. So, as you can see, even one could never find fault with Marchosius's cooking. As we ate, Guizhong, each of those old fossils had their character flaws and points of obstinacy. We would drink together from a spot high in the mountains, until the Streetwood Rambler would often remain to admire the flowers with Guizhong before returning to her own abode.
Streetward Rambler?
That would be Ping. You probably...
Oh, okay. Wait, this is a lovely story and everything, but are you saying that...
Alas, long has one avoided this place for precisely that. One should have guessed that you would disrupt one's poignant... No matter. In times gone by, one quarreled oft with Guizhong concerning mechanical principles.
We each had our ideals, and neither would yield. Under the pretext of a social gathering, one invited the impartial Rex Lapis to judge the quality of our creations. But Rex Lapis declared that Gui Zhang's obscuro vulpus mechanism was superior. Though one was too proud to acknowledge it, in one's heart, one knew that Gui Zhang was indeed the superior talent in the mechanical arts. As for the story between Gui Zhang and Streetward Rambler, that begins with a certain bell. In Gui Zhang's opinion, while mechanisms were no substitute for human composers, they were yet capable of producing simple but fine melodies. But Streetward Rambler believed music to be an expression of the soul, an emotional enterprise that could never hope to be replicated by machinery. They argued endlessly, until one asked Rex Lapis to intercede. He confiscated the bell and designated it for ceremonial use. Thereafter, one would often find them convening in the mountains, discussing music, mechanics, and all the affairs of the mortal world. But these good times were not to last. War broke out between the gods, and soon engulfed the Guili Plains. Gui Zhang was overpowered by the enemy, and fell in battle. When Streetward Rambler and I arrived at the scene at long last, all that remained among the ruins was her lifeless body. After this, at Streetward Rambler's request, Rex Lapis granted her the cleansing bell for safekeeping. To honor our friend's memory, one made a few finishing touches to her ballistic device. Many lantern rites have passed since then. Many greetings and goodbyes. Upon what do you gaze? The Guili Plains?
No. It's everything. We think of human life as like a lantern that's lit one minute and extinguished the next. But are we Adepti so different? Perhaps as dust settles after a storm, we too must one day return to the world below.
One has always been austere and private by nature, and has never relished socializing.
What? You have loads of friends.
Just because one is not ignorant of social graces does not mean one is fond of. But in the end, one is nothing like Streetward Rambler. She is dauntless. Back when they were rivals, they would often compete against. That cleansing bell was one of Gui Zhang's proudest works, having the ability to.
Wait, that's weird. Didn't Madame Pink? And she also said something about being a vain beauty when.
Streetward Rambler, a vain beauty. That bell has a sad history. Clearly, she refrained from. As for her old friend, as soon as Streetward Rambler heard that a certain Zhang Li wished to borrow the bell. After all, we all have known each.
Whoa! So they were talking in secret code?
Enough of your intrusions. The cleansing bell is powered by a mechanical art, and can be used to great effect as an accompaniment. Streetward Rambler did not acquire it from Rex Lapis for the purpose of producing further funerary tunes. The two once clashed over their beliefs about the meaning of music. Who would have thought that with Gui Zhang's passing, once upon a time, Streetward Rambler also loved gatherings, liquor, and music. But after Gui Zhang passed, she preferred music would go from mournful. Many years passed before she finally composed a melody to our satisfaction. In celebration, which brings one back to the matter you've been investigating. Perhaps it was during that performance that the ancestor.
But if she was so happy with the melody.
One was also greatly perplexed by this. After suppressing one's cure, in response, though the strings that played that melody survive, the one who inspired it is gone. Tell me, Clem.
I just remember being taken care of by you when I was young. Once the Archon War came, although I met Gui Zhang a few times,
Guizhong was quite the visionary, but tragically passed before her time. Had you not decided to search for that mystery Adeptus, perhaps As of now, you know the truth. That the Adeptus... Do you intend to discuss this with her?
Do you mean Ping might find the topic too distressing?
Precisely. The passing of our old friend is a...
If I may be so bold, Cloud Retainer could...
Oh? How...
I've been in Leo Harbor for quite a long time now, and I've witnessed many, but this doesn't bring the city or its people. Someone as perceptive and wise as Ping will... Though these immortal mountains have lost an Adeptus, no loss can ever be undone. But Ping has helped countless people, and will guide many others in the years to come. And all to whom she extends a helping hand, though it is heartbreaking to lose a kindred spirit. Life goes on.
We even asked Madame Ping what she thought about adding a music festival to this year's Lantern Rite. Oh, when we get back, why don't we just ask her if she'd like to perform?
Why don't you come with us? It's been a long time since you last spoke with Ping.
Is not every Lantern Rite the same in this regard? Were there ever anything new?
I disagree. Each new day and each new year is different from those that have come before.
The edibles she brought that very well. Then one will be off. If the other old fossils have sneaked away into the city to amuse themselves, one shall soon find out.
All right. We should be getting back to the harbor as well. Once the Guelius... Say, if we planted flowers there and cared...
Allow one to take back one's praise from a moment prior. You are...
What?
One observed that you were making no effort to leave, and returned to chasten and hasten you. This...
Whoa, Madame Ping...
It appears you made haste after all. What?
Oh, bless my...
Miss Illuminated Bird, haven't...
Said what, precisely? And why should one...
Cause you're the one who's known...
Street word. Or rather...
Oh, Cloud Retainer.
One, given that Lantern Rite is almost upon us, the weather... gone...
Huh? So, this all started because we were trying to help... Cloud Retainer informed us that the one who played that melody and...
Let me think. What a long time ago that was. I'm surprised. Even more astonishing, perhaps, is the fact that this story has survived the...
Who's...
We like to call her Guizhong. From the look in Cloud Retainer...
Albeit...
After all, Lantern Rite's very although Guizhong did not live to see the splendid sights of today.
So...
Once upon a time, she said to me that but as she interacted more and more with them, she marveled at the beautiful complexity of their spirits. She told us that to underestimate with the smallest amount of guidance, and a human who has reached their full potential may well be her...
She always had a wit that her mechanical accomplishments were judged superior to one's own was...
Speaking of mechanics, Cloud Retainer, do you still remember that potted plant mechanism?
Of course. Guizhong and one both put an immense amount of effort into that gift. It would be...
As Guizhong once said, it takes every blade. When I see the sight of Liyue Harbor...
Madame Ping looks very emotional right now.
Of all of us. If she were still with us, I'm quite sure.
Liyue Harbor is always filled with the sound of music at this time of the year. If she were...
Oh, yeah! We've been dying to ask. Oh, also, with you being such a music...
I can make arrangements right away.
Oh. It's been a long time since I played this zither, and whenever I play that tune, it always reminds... There was a period of time whenever I started strumming, it almost felt like she was back again, no matter how much time goes by. The moment that melody starts playing, it transports me right back to...
So the past still weighs heavy.
Oh, I would be lying to myself if I... But that is not to say that grief, despite the sadness, I have found many things that bring me joy in life. It is just look at this potted plant.
It takes an honest and open mind to confront and conquer grief.
Be that as it may, I shall leave the lantern rite stage to the
Well,
Granny! Whoa, what's everyone doing here? Did something...
And now we've spooked Yanfei. No.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, in that case, happy Lantern Rite, everyone.
Happy Lantern Rite. Oh, I just remembered that I have some, work. I will leave Mr. Dvorak in your capable hands. Cloud Retainer?
Huh? Does it have to be right now? Which
It seems Ganyu still has...
What a pity. She has learned nothing of one's ability.
Since it's been so long, Cloud Retainer, why don't you stay?
Gladly.
When you next see the Fontaine musician, please give him my regards.
you got it, madam.
Thank you all. I think you've listened to it. As for that melody, I will play it for you all another time.
Wow, that'd be great!
When that time comes. Wherever her spirit may be among the countless grains of sand and specks...
All right, let's go tell Mr. Dvorak the news. Mr. Dvorak! Ah, and Kuchin's here too!
Welcome back.
Really, really well. We found the person Mr. Dvorak was...
I see. So the melody my ancestor... That certainly explains why it was such a powerful...
Huh. That's a really interesting first reaction.
I have to say, though, it's hard to believe that the fairy...
Oh, Paimon knows exactly what you mean. But Streetward Rambler, or Madam Ping as we know her...
Madam Ping possesses vast knowledge and great wisdom. Whatever physical form she may decide...
Yep, Kuching summed it up perfectly. That's
I think... yeah, that can wait until after the concert, though. For now, I need to devote...
Ah, speaking of, Madam Ping, Paimon has a sneaking suspicion that she'll stay in her...
Wait, are you... Oh, no. Okay. Nope. Another rehearsal is in order. Please excuse me, everyone.
Mr. Dvorak? He's already gone. Before we set off on our search with Ganyu, he asked us about what music means to people. After our
Please, share your insights with me.
Well, we found out, it can make people happy. And music is like a kind of memory written in people's heart.
It sounds like you had an eventful trip. Don't worry.
Wait, does that mean you're gonna carry on?
Just a few things to wrap. As long as everyone enjoys the festival activities, all our effort. Happy Lantern Rite to you as well.
Paimon feels like she's forgetting something. Shoot! Latent Zhongli said he wasn't in a hurry, so if we... Anyway, even if we don't make it, it's not up... Ugh. Anyway...
Da 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 da. Oh, all right. Let's take a break here. Oh wow! Look who it is. Are you here to hang?
So you're just casually practicing your rapping skills at the entrance?
After everything we've been through. You know, we have all this open space, a clear view of the mountains behind and the...
Invisible?
Gotta say, it took me a few days to get used to
Xinyan was pretty spooked too when she first got here. Just like...
Come on, knock it...
What's wrong? I've never seen someone look so confused before. There once was a Fontaine musician who went around town on a mission. With my words, Xinyan's chorus will take the stage by storm with flames roaring and
For sure! The whole dance floor will be yelling encore! Encore! Oh, now Paimon's rhyming along.
No, don't you worry about that. I'm pretty experienced on the stage, and I've already...
Huh. Guess we'll just have to trust Xinyan on this.
Oh, Zhongli. He took one of those fancy meal boxes and set off for them. It's a real pity that he couldn't be around for this, as well as being a true connoisseur of tradition.
Yeah, that's right. Matter of fact, he was the one who... To tell the truth, though, I never...
Well, now you know. The Wangsheng Funeral Parlor is a great location. I can speak to that. Hu Tao is...
And jump scares.
Actually, Xinyan, I have some lyric ideas for your part.
Sure thing.
Oh, Traveler in Paimon. I believe Zhongli was heading to Mount Hulao, so when you see Zhongli, please pass on this message to him. It's up to him whether he wants to support us at the performance tonight. But you should join us too. It'll be a riot. If there's one thing I've learned from...
A familiar face.
Everything's great! But you know, if you're so curious...
In fact, Mooncarver has been taking many walks on Mount Tien.
Zhongli! Here you are! We've brought...
Impeccable time. Traditionally, bamboo shoot soup ought to be slow cooked for many hours on low heat. Using Adeptus arts to...
Wait, that...
Indeed. Cloud Retainer kindly lent...
Can we not just call it a cooking machine? She seems to take a lot of pride in her mechanical gizmos, so it's probably best if Paimon...
I trust that you found the answers you were seeking during... Excellent. The past should be remembered, but not overly dwelt upon. Our journey should be seen as when the bamboo shoot soup is ready. I must
Oh, Zhongli! Hu Tao told us to tell... She said... It's up to him whether he wants to support us at the performance tonight, but when she says performance, she must mean the Lantern Rite Music Festival. As for the banquet,
As you can see, I have a prior engagement with 2 Adepti friends of mine. As for the banquet, since the director insists, far be it from a mere consultant like myself to refuse.
Yay! Then we'll...
Absolutely.
Rex Lapis, the bamboo shoot.
Thank you. The appearance is exquisite, and the aroma rich and intense. Since you came all this way, you should not leave empty-handed. Please, take some soup.
I'm honored to be here on the Iridescence Tour stage. All right, without further ado, I'm Xinyan, this is Hutao, and this is a little something called...
Does anyone have any plans tomorrow? With another year behind us, I think we deserve a celebration of our own. My treat. Interested?
The Tianquan footing the bill? I can't miss out on that.
May the year ahead be a blessed one.
I believe it shall be.
Master, the Xiao Lanterns,
Ha! Elementary. One shall fashion for you a Xiao Lantern the likes of which the world has never seen. And you must take it to Liyue Harbor to display its magnificence for all.